Hey, how's it going, folks? I know this car ride's going to be noisy. I do apologise that, and I know it's a very important subject, and I do talk about it yesterday with co-workers about it. And I guess in marriage life, or you have a lot of debts in your life, you cannot afford to make any mistakes, and you wanting to proceed, or you may lose, and it's very disheartening to know when you made a mistake or lose a job or you got your job sacked, whatever the reason it is, it should be a learning curve. Like, I know it's very painful for many people to know this, and that's why people who go through it and do not make any mistakes and everything whatsoever or whatever, right? And when you have it, it becomes where it is right now is the fact that that you fear of doing this, and I've made this video in the past where saying like, look, we work and marriage is actually kind of similar thing. Like, when you first started to work, you got your probation, you outcompete, or your probation or your other peers who's employed at the same time, whatever the information is, right? Then after that, you have you pass, and then you start working, and you started to slack off with the work, and you know that you're getting a permanent role. You can kind of slack off, and you kind of to do what other people's doing, like whether you're complaining or making gossip or the work productivity. You can work less and not working more. You're not as hungry as before because you're gonna get a regular income all the time. There's no incentive, or there's no career movement, or whatever the reason it is, right? Then you have that. And that's the thing about marriage. You kind of get slack off, or some of them is very, very strong, or you have conservative values or marriage values. Another one is so temptation, whether it's the social media or what they see or what they hear from their peers, whatever the reason it is. Yeah, I'm not going to get into details. Yeah, but to know the whole thing like that and put it into a way that mistakes in the workplace, it actually shooken you up, because we're so used to being comfort, right, in that same place or same bubble and doing the same thing repeated, the routine, and we are scared to move outside of the box or do something new, or do something that is not stability, right? So when you have that notion like that, it becomes problematic with the whole thing. And when it becomes a problem with the whole thing, this is where it becomes, in the marriage, you cannot afford, or if you have a mortgage, you cannot afford to do X, Y, and Z, because that's life the way how it is, right? And when you have like that, I'm actually, glad that my landlord kicked me out of the house. I'm actually glad I went to a car crash. I'm glad that I lost my job, because that mistake moved me to seek even further better, or try something new, open up, where before you just don't want to. You're so used to being routine, and when you go through it, it just doesn't make any good for the whole thing. And obviously, you know what to do for your next job. You're gonna be working hard, not soft, just X, Y, and Z, right? When you have that notion, it creates excitement for your workplace, right? And workplace, it becomes not boring anymore. And the wave has to go, it can't be calm all the time. It has to have a big wave, or it can be tsunami wave, right? And that's what my mentor and my godfather's been telling me, like, you'll go through that, right? And when you go through it, it is what it is. And you have to accept that that's part of life. It's unfortunately, you will have to go through all of them in life. Because life is not always thinking of, you're going to be stuck in one job and you're going to be working there 20, 30 years plus, same company. And, it doesn't work that way. And like, there's this beautiful notion, it makes you go through that kind of deep end, and you know what your red boundaries, your red line. And not only just that, but you also know that the fact that, what's the word? That you got to chase something better, or survival mode. you got to kick in your survival instinct, mate, and you got to survive it through. That's what I'm trying to say in the video.